Back with the ultimate bridal tutorial. If you are a summer 2025 bride and you're doing your own makeup and you have no idea what you're doing, watch this video. I've been a bridal makeup artist for years and I'm spilling every single secret. Starting with my Tatcha Dewy Gel Cream. I've fallen in love with this cream. It feels like a drink of water for your skin. It's the perfect primer for before makeup. You guys know the drill. I'm not skipping the facial massage, especially before a wedding. The Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Pore Refining Primer. This is gonna act as like a blurring veil over my pores. It looks so good in photos. Contouring with my Westman Atelier Trace Contour Stick. Pull down my jawline. The key to this look is layering in thin layers. I say this all the time to you, but I'm gonna drill it into your head. Thin layers, even if you're wearing a lot of makeup, gives the most natural, beautiful, radiant look. I'm using these light stamping motions to blend everything into my skin. I'm going in with my Hourglass in the shade Fawn. Focusing this under my eyes. Placing it right underneath where we place that contour. Sides of the nose where I get super red. And there to lift the face, and then just a little on my chin. I'm pressing this into my skin in stamping motions and making sure not to bring it up too high underneath my eye where we place that contour. And don't worry if it's not perfectly blended. We're gonna go in after and make sure it's nice and seamless. I see so many of you blending your concealer completely out into nothing. You kind of need to make it like this, especially for bridal makeup. You want everything to really pop in the photos. I promise you it's going to look beautiful in the end. Now that we've got our underpaint on, I'm going with the NARS Light Reflecting Foundation. So many of you guys asked me to use this and finally I listened to you and it's so beautiful on the skin. Tipping into my powder brush. There's a reason that this foundation has a cult following. I'm going in with Terra Sol from House Labs. This is like a cream to powder formula, so that's what I'm going to use as my cream bronzer. I take it on my Mario F1 and just stipple it, tap it, and pat it, filling in my brows slightly with my e.l.f. brow lift. This is the shade medium brown. I always like going a touch lighter in the brows. I just find it the most flattering and kind of lifting to the face. I actually have some brow gel in from earlier. I like a little bit of grit before I go in with my final brow set. This gives it a better grip to set all night. I'm using the Super Nudes palette from Charlotte Tilbury. Literally so thin, so it's perfect to travel if you're a destination bride. Starting out with this shade on a big fluffy brush to go all over my lid. Look how stunning just that shade on its own is. Start with patting motions and then I take the rest and sweep it through the crease and pull it up. Taking what's left over and rimming my eyes with it. I'm taking the same brush for an easier blend and then going into this kind of saddle shade. Focusing this on the outer corner of my lid and sweeping it lightly through the crease. Dragging it halfway through the crease, blending it up. Taking the deepest brown in the palette, pressing it right into my socket right here. I'm using such light pressure and such minimal product. Remember, always connect it to the outer tail. Taking the lightest bone shade in the palette, sweeping this lightly underneath the brow bone to give me that lift. I'm taking the same bone shade right in the center and kind of just cutting that crease. Follow the shape of your eye socket and you have like the most beautiful cut crease. Jumping back to complexion, I'm going in with my Dior Glow Maximizer in the shade Rosy. Beautiful on vacation, peachy apricot pink. Picking this up on my IT Cosmetics Stippled Heavenly Luxe brush. Placing this super high up on my cheeks, more towards my temple. Taking the rest onto the bridge of my nose, little on my chin. Beautiful summer bride. Taking my Kosas Cloud Set in the shade Candy. And use the yellow base shade if you're a deeper complexion than me. Pick some up on the puff. Just gonna blur that under eye into that cheek. A little more right here to bake. You're gonna look crazy, but you wanna just let this sit and bake and meld together for a sec. While this bakes, I'm gonna go in and give my lashes a really, really good curl. Taking the tiniest bit of French Rosette from House Labs and starting to push that bake into my skin. I need you to take your favorite eye pencil or eye kohl. I'm using this kohl in the shade Brown from Westman Atelier because this does not move on me, but I'm wiggling this into my upper lash line. This is gonna make my lashes look way thicker in photos. And I'm doing my classic inner V corner liner. Just really elongates my shape. Even if you don't want to wear a wing on your wedding day, at least do these little tricks for your eye shape and it's going to look super almondy and snatched and lifted and awake. And then take this into the corner. This is my favorite little trick. gorgeous, it's subtle, it gives that Kendall Jenner kind of smoky almond eye. I ran to the store to get a new waterproof mascara. If you're a makeup artist, you just keep this piece because this will just dry out your product. So if you're using it on multiple clients, literally just keep this cap. But this is just for my personal use, so I'm going right in. I need a super waterproof, super dry formula in order for my lashes to stay up. So this is why I love this CoverGirl one. They're not all created equal, you guys. This is superior. Blink into the wand. And a little on the bottom just to open up my eye. You can leave the eyes totally matte like this, or you can take it one step further with the Fenty Diamond Bomb. This is the shade How Are My Carrots, and it's gonna give me this wet glitter. Let me just show you. Like, hi. Adding this all over my lid, is that not the prettiest thing you've ever seen? Now that most of my eyeshadow is done, I need some more definition. I'm taking a little bit of this black shade on a angled brush. Damp this along my lash line. I'm gonna blend perfectly into that brown we already have on. I'm gonna take what's left and just connect the two and bring it up for like a beautiful subtle thing. This is bridal makeup, so you gotta make it a little more dramatic than your everyday, just so it looks good all night and looks incredible in photos. Contouring my lips with the shade On It from Maybelline, because literally once this goes on my lips, it will dry down and will not move. To fill my lips, I'm taking some Glassy Ginger. It's sheer, but it's balmy. I like to really push that into the lip versus swiping. You just get the prettiest payoff. And I've been absolutely addicted to this stuff. It's the L'Oreal Hyaluron Lip Plumper. So it'll lock that combo in. I'm just gonna add a little bit. But be careful when you kiss your partner because this stuff burns. A makeup artist tip I did with all of my brides, I went in with 2 setting sprays. One more dewy mist to blend everything in together, and then a long wearing 16-hour setting spray so this shit doesn't go anywhere. Iconic London Prep Set and Blur. And then while that's still wet, going in with my L'Oreal Infallible. This is a 16-hour wear. And something I like to do to all my brides, if they have any beauty marks on their face, I just like to go in and detail them out. So I have a few right here. You guys know already, I always like to add a few freckles on the nose. I think nothing contours my nose quite like it. And I'm adding just a little baby lash on the corner. But I just want to show the before and after. This is before, this is after. You can see just the prettiest curl that matches my curled shape. Damn, I think I just got that in one shot. Take the two and press them together. Now it's like, looks perfect. We're just taking the tiniest bit of Hibiscus Haze. The more the merrier when it comes to blush, especially for bridal. Just makes it look so much like a bride. Here is the finished look. What are some bridal poses? Like, I need a big rock. Right here. I think this is my favorite of the series. I just think it screams bridal, but still giving kind of like that hot girl, fierce kind of look. Love ya.